Hey Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kadash. Alright, let me just put airplane mode. Okay. Yeah, man, all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham Shai, Bahasham Kadash. Okay, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. You know, have taught me this truth. And Shalom to the Lord's elect. Okay, the elect of the nation of Israel, the elect of Yahweh Shai, starting with 144,000. And yeah, man, I'm gonna just get into it. You know, Trump. You know, just typed in Trump Chicago on Google, and you know, some of the stories that come up. Which, you know, what this guy's looking to do is to basically put boots on the ground in Chicago. You know, he's already done it in was it Washington? Okay, certain areas, and pretty much, you know, what's going on here, man, is it actually reminded me of something years ago. The apostles did a video on a military exercise called Jade Helm 15. Now, when you look into Jade Helm 15, it was carried out in certain states in America where they had different units from the different, you know, the different military forces in America doing a training exercise. It was a very big exercise. Okay, and they had them training in urban environments, you know, and you know, the guys was, well, they're training them so that when they go out to fight, they're ready to fight in urban environments overseas, which is, you know, of course there's truth to that, but the thing about that is it also trains them to be in urban environments on home soil, you know, because the training exercise itself was in America. Okay, if they really wanted to do that, they could have done that training exercise elsewhere too. Okay, you know, there's a whole alliance here. There's a NATO alliance, right? And they do things like that. So, you know, smoke and mirrors, man. And pretty much, it reminded me of a couple of scriptures, so I'm just gonna go into it. You know, let's get this, and then we'll go into it. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." You know, and pretty much this devil, okay, and I'm talking about Esau, okay. I'm not just singling out the single devil, Trump, okay, which he's the devil too, but I'm talking about the Edomites, okay, starting with their elites, okay, the people who give the marching orders to Trump. You know, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, so on and so forth. Okay, these elite families, they're looking to come down on Jake. Okay, they're looking to come down on the society to bring about their new world order. And part of that is to brew chaos. And through that brewing of the chaos, they bring a solution. And what's the solution? Boots on the ground, military takeover, martial law. Okay, so, you know, it's about to get real wild out there. You know, for Jake, you got Jake doing all kinds of videos saying, you know, they're ready. They got you know, Apostle Ha's video. He did a quick one on it where he was quoting in that video that was Anton Daniels, I think. He was talking about, if I'm not mistaken, his name. You know, that they got switches, and, you know, Apostle Ha said, well, they got straps. You know, you think you can come against Esau's military, man? You got another thing coming, man. Okay. Okay. So he's about to come down hard on Jake. Now, what's all this all leading into, right? Remember, he's been doing, Jade Helm was 8 years ago. He's been doing exercises on this. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Now, the he that's going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble is talking about the elect of the nation of Israel. The rest of our nation, they're going to die over there. Okay? There's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of destruction. And ultimately, it's going to lead to the missiles anyway in World War III. But before that, you're going to have civil unrest. You're going to have boots on the ground, martial law, cordoned off areas, drones, um, utter chaos, financial breakdown, financial collapse. It's going to be dog eat dog out there, man. And pretty much that's the time that we're quickly approaching. Okay. Gold's shooting up, man. You look at the price of gold. Gold's going crazy high now. We already know that stuff is manipulated. All right. But the value of these fiat currencies are dropping like hellfire, man. Okay. And this is all part and parcel of it. We're entering that time, okay, of utter chaos, right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, and woe means destruction, by the way. That's what's coming, right? This is for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." What's the modern day sword? The gun, okay? The ultimate sword is the glittering sword, which is what the great sword is, the missile, okay? It says, "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So people are going to be shooting each other, okay? "For there shall be sedition among men," which sedition is basically, it's like a call to a rebellion or uprising against the government, okay, to incite that, right? "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Okay, so things are getting burnt down. Okay, even small things like over here in the UK, they're breaking down cameras. People are putting up flags. Okay, the British flag and so on and so forth. You got racial tensions being built up. Okay, which is all leading to chaos anyway. And people are not going to regard, okay, the government. They're not going to regard, the people who are so-called in control of these countries. Okay, and they're gonna do it wherever they can and within their own power. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." You're gonna have martial law, cordon off areas. Okay. That's why you got things like 15-minute cities that have been set up. Okay, they gave you a pre-run of that during the Vicky Venom back in 2020. Okay, so hey, checkpoints, man. Like they show in these post-apocalyptic films, they've always got these checkpoints. Okay. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Yeah, it's going to be a terrifying time for those out there who are basically, first of all, a lot of people didn't even see this coming because people were just in a low, dumbed down state. They're just, entertainment. And the people that do see it, okay, they're still going to be afraid because it's going to be a time like never before. You're going to have all kind of things going on at that time. Okay. These are things leading up to it. But Jacob's trouble, man. You're going to be having, it's going to get, it's not just going to be just boots on the ground. You're going to have, it's going to get biblically spiritual. You're going to have apparitions, demonic forces appearing and, creatures that never been seen according to the scriptures. Okay. You're going to have Leviathan. All sorts is going to be going on, man. Okay, as we're approaching the return of our Lord Yahushua. Right? And these cities are going to be troubled. Okay? It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods." A lot of robbing going to be happening. Why? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So Esau's going to set it up where, if supplies are going to be limited, man, you're going to just do what you want and, go to your supermarket. People are going to be like, okay, it's going to be dog eat dog. Okay? So if you got something that they don't have, they're going to want it. Okay? Now, the difference with the elect is, that's why it said that he shall be saved out of it in Jeremiah 30:7, is that the elect are going to be protected. We are the hopeful elect. So we have faith in the Lord that we're going to be protected in that time. Okay? And we're going to need that protection. Okay? In fact, some of us say we're going to get, boosted up in the spirit, if you will, okay, to deal with what's coming. Now let's see if I can find that scripture. Bear with me. Yep, this is Isaiah 59 verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, okay, meaning boots on the ground, okay, when the Esau starts coming with his troops, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. So certain brothers are going to get spiritual power, okay? Many brothers have dreams and testimonies of that, okay? So that's, part of what's going to happen too. So we're very close to that time, okay? We're very close to that time, and, everything's popping off right now. All the prophecies, all the talk about the mark of the beast, which is the RFID implant, the implantable chip, that's all in the news. That's all part of the new system that's coming in with the digital system, the AI and all that, okay? You see Neuralink and all the different companies that are trying to push this. We're in that time, okay? And it's just these prophecies are slowly coming into fruition, and they're going to be fully come to pass when, in their power, when it's all fully established, man. When people are out there getting chipped, okay, going to chipping stations or whatever, all right, you're going to have thousands of people walking around you being chipped, okay? You're going to have, some places are going to be okay, some places are going to be in utter chaos. You're going to have factions forming, you're going to have people going up into mountains, and you're going to have all sorts, man, okay? People dying of hunger, people dying of the sword, okay? The scriptures talk about dogs to tear, people dying from animal attacks. So that's all part and parcel of what's coming. We're slowly but surely, we're really fast. It's kind of quick. We're approaching that time. Okay, we're the latter end now, the 2025. Okay, and we're moving into that time. We're seeing more and more bold moves by this devil. Okay. So hey man, we gotta stay prayed up and keep fighting a good fight of faith. And Lord willing, we're out of here soon. These are the telltale signs of these end time prophecies. So that, I'm gonna say shalom, shalom to the Lord's elect, and I'm out.